Pamyo director
여기 전부
Jang
다 알
Jae-yeon
거야.
is in a pretty unique
묘 하나
position.
잘못 건들면
He
어떻게
makes films
되는지.
centered around the occult, which is not a very
이런
popular
데는
genre in Korea.
절대 사람이 누워
It's
있을
great
자리가
that it's
아니야.
been successful at the box office, and to some extent, it's because it has a star who is somewhat
악지 중에
unexpected.
악지란 말이다.
But it's also important that the story is solid and engaging. Even though it's about the occult, it's not from a Western perspective, but from a Korean perspective. It's hard to call them demons because they're not just shamans or shamanism, which is unique to Korea. In The Black Priest, I did it with Kong Dong-won and Kim Yoon-seo, and in Sabaha, I did it with Lee Jung-jae, Park Yoon-min, and Yoo Ji-tae. When you look at the actors, there's something about them that doesn't fit with the occult. Not that there's any actor that fits, but it makes you pay attention to them. This time, Choi Min-sik is in the cast, which is the most noticeable thing because it feels different from the usual. Although Kim Do-eun, Lee Da-yeon, and Yoo Hae-jin are also in it, I can't imagine Choi Min-sik in an occult movie at all. To put it bluntly, I wonder if Choi Min-sik, who is a noir actor, will be possessed by the devil in the occult. The title, Pamyo, means selling graves, and in the movie, they move the bodies that are already in the grave. In terms of the movie itself, it's quite global, because the ghost from Korea goes almost straight to the U.S. At the beginning of the movie, Kim Go-eun is traveling on an airplane, and when the flight attendant asks her about it, she says that she's Korean, not Japanese. At first, we don't know what this means, but we find out later in the movie. It turns out it was a deliberate device to clarify his identity. A child can't sleep and just cries. When Kim Go-eun sees the child with Lee Da-yeon, she tells him that it's because of his ancestors. When she visits the child's father at home, she hears him crying to the point where he can't sleep either. Even his grandfather at home doesn't seem to be in his right mind. They say it's because it's in the wrong place and that it needs to be moved again. Choi Min-sik is a feng shui practitioner with an eye for good grave sites, and Yoo Hae-jin is a funeral director, and together they work as a team. This grave move is not to be taken lightly, and they agree to accept 1 billion units on the condition that they never open the coffin. When they get to the grave, it's very strange. It's a very wealthy family, and we don't know why. It's a very nice spot, but there's a strange, eerie energy about it, and Choi Min-sik doesn't understand why. Choi Min-sik says he can never do it, but when she begs him to do it for her child, he agrees. Kim Go-eun distracts him by brushing his flesh to keep the energy in check and not know what will happen. They decide to cremate him right away, but it suddenly pours down with rain, so they postpone it for another day and temporarily move the coffin nearby. The caretaker opens the coffin, not knowing what treasures might be inside, and at that moment, something unknown jumps out. This is actually the middle of the story, because the person in the coffin is my grandfather. The fact that the grandfather has been trying to free himself for a long time and no one has listened to him, so he decides to take revenge on his descendants. When the movie ends, we're only halfway through the movie, and I was thinking there must be more, because I had my suspicions that there weren't 2 coffins. And the real secret is revealed when it's discovered that there's actually another coffin underneath. It's weird how Japanese work so well in this kind of occult stuff, and I think it's because it's a little bit creepier than the Korean stuff. And I think that's probably because of the way it feels when you tone it down, because Chinese doesn't really work for that. As always, most occult or horror movies are scary and chilling right up until the moment of revelation. My heart is pounding and I'm scared of what's going to happen. Pamyo-do was also scary until its identity was revealed, especially because I watched it on an X screen and the image spreads left and right, so I could feel the X screen effect more properly. Lee Da-yeon has been appearing in a series of films that it's hard to say whether he really worked 10 jobs before going to the army. The acting is also excellent, so I'm looking forward to it more and more. Both of them sing a song called a shaman song here, which is what shamans do when they are good, and it's quite impressive and catchy, so I became more focused. The actors are definitely good at acting, so my concentration increased. Oddly enough, It's scary to be scared even with Choi Min-sik. There's nothing tense and occult when Choi Min-sik is around. Mostly when Kim Go-eun and Lee Yun-do are around. At the end, Choi Min-sik solves the problem that water-soaked wood is harder than iron. Choi Min-sik overcomes the spirit to attend his daughter's wedding. It's scary parental love after all. The development is good, so I watched it well without losing track of time.